Wrongens noch so ausdrücken wird. Wrongens noch so ausdrücken wird.
Welcome back, everyone. 1 minute now. My name is Storm Fury, and this is the Clusterfuck channel, otherwise known as Zero News. I do apologise for the last attempt, which seemed to just have every single possible technical thing go wrong that it possibly could. But we're back. We're back because it's important. This is going to be quite a quick. That's why I was quite frustrated, because it's only a quick cast, really. There's not much to say. So because I'm going to delete the other video, I'm just going to say these things again. Kaylee and other people as mothers, I've had a serious issue with the fact that there is a loophole in the law that means that I'm just doing the short version, loophole in your law that means that your kids could be tested at school in the right conditions without your consent. These tests we've been trying to track. These tests we're trying to find out about. There is not an awful lot of information out about them. In fact, it seems to be quite deliberately hidden. So if you're not up to scratch with this, there's a part 1 and a part 2 called Are Your Kids Safe at School? Both on Zero News and on Umbrella Grape Solutions. This is Kaylee's baby, but it's not about, for Kaylee, this is not, I hate to speak for people, but for Kaylee, this is not about, hey, this is my baby. This is a serious issue that she cares about. She cares about her kids, and it's rolled on to caring about other people's. It's rolled on to caring about everybody and what this means and why this is happening and everything else. So if you look at the videos, part 1 and part 2 of Are Your Kids Safe at School, you'll see not the magic answers for everything. You'll see Kaylee putting in a hell of a lot of work to go and try and find out from government departments, from security firms to well, you go and look. She goes and she does her due diligence, and she puts all this work in over the course of 2 episodes so far, 2 parts so far, to try and find out what the tests are, where they're being done, and what the science is behind it, and what about the loophole that seems to be that your school can tell you, no. We would never test the kids without your consent unless you refuse to answer the phone. But what counts as refusal? What if you're just not available? There's a lot of, and so the school has to stick strictly to the guidelines that it's given. Which means also that if the government or any higher body decides to come in and test, no matter how much your school reassures you that that can't happen, they don't have the authority to back that claim. It's not about the school's intentions. You may have a wanky school, and you may have a really good school, and the really good school may totally mean it. They may be totally genuine. It doesn't matter. They don't have the power to enforce that claim. They have the power to enforce the guidelines given to them. This is very important. You'll see this in part 1 and part 2 of the. In part 2, by the way, all I did was stick bits together. Katie did all this work. And want this, because this is on Zero News, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. This is Kaylee's time, hours, tears. I won't say blood, but hours, tears, determination, rouse, you name it. She's had to go through it to try and find information. So please go watch part 1 and part 2 if you haven't seen them. Now, if you have, and you're up to where we're at, all we've seen is that there's a loophole that could be taken advantage of. Now, in my time on the internet, every single law that is a loophole or has a loophole, which people say, oh, well, that would only happen in extreme circumstances. A bit like, as I referenced the other day, when they Google for the first time were forced to censor, and the government said, oh, it'll only be a couple of things here and there. They now have, I think it's something like 1.2 billion takedown requests per year, right? That's what that little loophole ended up being, and they knew it when they did it, right? So there's every reason to be afraid of loopholes, because they always get used. They always get used. So with this, we did part 2, and then at the beginning of this, I was 80% on board with Katie's arguments. I'm now at 99.99999% because Katie's not, and so this is very important. She's not said, "Oh, I know what the answer is to this." She's not said the answer is this. She's not laid out a conspiracy theory that she can't prove. She's not said anything in terms of trying to draw conclusions yet. She can't, and she knows it. What she's done is she's laid out a map of what she's done so far to try and find out, because it's important that people see that she's going, because could be you, and for some people it will be you, going for all the right channels, your MP, going through the Department of Health, going to the Department of Education, going to all these places, chasing up all these places, as you should do due diligence if you're going to come on video and talk about it. She's done it all. She's done it all, and she's continuing to do it as we speak. So with this said, evidence is what we've been needing. So I've got a couple of things I'm going to be doing end of the week, and Katie's got things she's doing that we're going to try to put in part 3 and try and gather some more evidence. Again, trying to prove nothing at the moment except just gathering evidence to see where it leads us, because that's how true open inquiry is done. It's done with an open mind, right? So with that said, there's now been a couple of people that have stood up and said, hey, this loophole has been exploited. My kids have been tested without my consent. So this is evidence now to support that loophole, it not only exists, but it's being used. So I don't have both videos, and we don't need both videos. I'm gonna show you one video in a second, okay? And you can say Public Health England, Bolton, but it's much more complicated than that. Katie's been to Public Health England, which are being dissolved, but that's something that we'll come to at another point. But we will cover that. I understand that that's the right answer. That should be the right answer, but it's ended up being far more convoluted than that. These answers are what it should be. These answers, like Bolton's answer is right on paper. His answer is absolutely 100% right. In reality, no, it's not at all. It should be, but it's not, and that's the issue. So there is a person that got referred to me today. I'm going to show you a video of in a second, right? Now, I just want to, before I play the video, you have to watch out for confirmation bias and stuff like this. This person, and as I'm thinking about it, what have they got to gain by lying? What have they got to gain by making this video? You watch this video, it's not done for views and clicks, okay? You can see that straight away. I'll let you make your own minds up about it. It also doesn't prove anything. What I need, I'm going to show you the video first. I'm going to show you the video first. That you make your own mind up. So let me just play this to you.
The school, and they've said that it was nothing to do with them, that the NHS come into the school and they've done it. I've got a tag! And not even had my authority. I'm not signed nothing. I'm absolutely fucking livid. Please fucking check your children and make sure that they're not being fucking jabbed without your authority. Now, if my child gets fucking ill, what am I supposed to do? Fuck knows what she's had put in her. But school, it's fucking pissed me off. I'm so fucking angry and upset that now I'm worried that my fucking child's going to get fucking ill. Please.
Okay, and for some reason it ended there. Credit to Sarah Garvey for posting this, actually. I see the signal's not looking very good. Hopefully it holds. Credit to Sarah Garvey for posting that, and thank you to Sean Buchanan for sending that to me. So now that is obviously not proof of this, because we need to verify this. I think it's fair to say, though, that this is not a person who hasn't gone out to look for views and clicks, and that's quite obvious. I think that they seem quite genuine to me. They may not necessarily be in the know, but they seem quite genuine. And what she's saying is the NHS have come in, overruled the school, gone in and done tests on the children. Now, bear in mind, we don't know what the tests are. We've heard of one called Copan, but that seems to be, at the moment, just a name. And it's unclear where and who it's being used on. People, by the way, I've just heard today that there is somebody in hospital with a respiratory illness, an older person, and they went in the hospital with a respiratory problem. All the symptoms of COVID. They They have not tested that person for COVID. They've been in hospital 3 times now. The same thing. Not tested them. They're not testing older people for COVID, generally speaking, unless you go and book an appointment or whatever else, which is strange in itself. But let's not go out on conspiracy. Let's just focus on the video that she's put out there. Okay. So she's saying the NHS come in and they've overruled the school and they've done this test without the parents' consent. Now, okay, so I believe her, but believing her is not enough. We need proof. So what I am asking, right? We've got a channel now that's nearly 10,000 strong, right? Big deal. But where we can use this is this. If anybody can find out who this person is and try and connect us somehow, because I'm not very good at this part of things of trying to find people yet, but if anybody knows who this person is, anybody knows how to contact this person, could you please try and get them in touch with me or Kaylee? It doesn't matter who. Me for getting her on here and explaining some of this, or just speaking to her one-to-one, and Kaylee because Kaylee's may be able to help her, may be able to help each other. Her in as much as giving us the knowledge we need. And don't forget, this isn't just selfishly for us, right? I don't have kids. This is then going to be put together and put back out to you as solid information, as opposed to just a video with no background, no nothing, which that is at the moment. It will be solid info. We're looking to try and find solid info. Now, Katie's got someone else in a similar situation, which will bring up, whether it be like this or in part 3. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that we get the information for you as much as we can so that you can decide for yourself what to do about it. Now, some people that I won't name have already gone into homeschooling options because of this. Because the thing of it is they're coming and do these tests, and they've now gone, by the looks of it, and overridden the schools exactly what Kaylee feared in the first place. Exactly what she feared, and everybody went, nah, conspiracy theorist. She was right. You were wrong. You all owe her, not you guys, the people who know who they are. You owe her an apology. You owe her an apology. Things are looking more and more like she was right. Not only if she was right, they are doing it. So, please, people, I think that I have one of the best audiences on YouTube, and I say that with total honesty. If you guys can help us find this lady here so that we can speak and we can get the information both ways, perhaps we can help her, perhaps she can help us, and then we can help other mothers out there, because there's a lot of other mothers and fathers who are seriously worried about this. You have the right to know, surely, what the conditions are around your kids being tested. The schools are saying, well, they won't be tested without your consent. Well, they are being tested without a consent. So that is already wrong. Okay, especially if we can verify this. Nobody knows what the tests are. Nobody knows where the tests are being done. We know where the test centers are. G4S is doing those, but we don't know where they're sending the test to actually be done, right? So we also then don't know what those tests contain, how they're done, what the chemicals. Nothing. We don't even know the science behind it. Public Health England, you won't find it through the government at the moment. Katie's got an MP on this. I mean, every channel is being. This is not just this. A couple, make a couple of videos, get a few. Katie's knocking on all the right doors, and now, as from pretty much yesterday, really, or since we did the last part, I'm on board with helping her knock on doors as well. And there's like I say, there's a couple of places I'm going to be going at the end of the week to try and get answers as well. And thankfully, due to Kaylee's experience, I'll be able to go and ask questions thanks to her help. And I might even have her in an earpiece with me, just so that we can really ask the exact right questions. So I'm going to go and do something. I don't want to say too much in case it tips anybody off that I'm coming, okay? But it's going to be a little bit of an undercover job, because it has to be. It's the only way I'm going to be able to find out what's going on here. So, or we're going to be able to find out what's going on here. See, this is what I'm worried about. I don't want to make this a zero news story. This is Kaylee's story, At the end of the day, it's everybody's story. It's everybody who has kids' story. Even if you don't have kids, why are the kids being tested, not the adults? What's going on here? What chemicals are being used? What's the science? What's the agenda? Why is it not just all on the table? The first tests that they gave out have already been recalled because they're useless. I went to my dentist today, and every time I've been to my dentist recently, because I've had to have a course of treatment, they've been taking my temperature outside the front door before letting me in. Seems like a sensible measure. When I went there today, all of the other safety protocols that they had in place were still there, but they now weren't taking my temperature. And I got in and I said, how come you didn't take my temperature today? And they said, well, to be honest, it sounds like, they didn't verify this 100%. They said it sounds like it's unreliable. The data is unreliable from doing that. Basically, it doesn't work. It's not working. Taking people's temperatures is not working. So now the dentists have stopped doing it. I don't know who else has stopped doing it, if anyone else has stopped doing it yet, but they definitely have, due to the feedback they've got either from the government or whatever else, due to what the new guidelines they've been given. The heat gun, whatever you want to call it, isn't sufficient. Doesn't do the job. So I don't know I don't even know what that means, because they're still letting you in with all the other protocols, which, by the way, the other protocols are simply this. You wear a mask to the door. They make you put gel on your hands when you go in. When you go into the dentist, they give you this tiny drop of this liquid, like a mouthwash, you have to put in your mouth and hold it in there for a minute. It's horrid, and it makes you think it's ripping your mouth to pieces. You spit that out, and then they can work on you, right? But they've taken this heat testing part out of it. Well, this is, if you listen to part 2 of Umbrella Grape Solutions videos, Kaylee's videos, you'll see that they talk about testing kids with this gun as though it's a big deal, as though this is, we're going to just use the gun. Well, you can see why we're getting frustrated, because one group of professionals over here now saying, well, the gun's useless, and or who's doing which test are we doing? Because that one's been recalled. That one seems to only be used at the United Arab Emirates. Jesus. So it's like we still don't know what the tests are. Maybe one called Copan, maybe. Who's doing them? What the science is behind them? It's your children. It's your children who you should be worried about testing your children with your consent when you don't know what's going on and why they are recalling stuff and why they're using an umbrella term for their tests rather than telling you what the tests are and what's in them. And more importantly is nobody's kid should be jabbed with a needle with whatever in without their consent. They just shouldn't be. I think we can agree on that. Unless it was a life-saving procedure, which it's not, that had to be done in the moment to save someone's life, I think we could all agree that that would be fair play. This is not fair play. I don't know what this is, and I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of agendas and global conspiracies. All we need at the moment is facts. So if any of you can try and put us on to the lady you see in that video earlier on, it's really, really important. As I said, there's other people that this seems to be happening to as well, and we will be working with them as well. I'm going to play this video to you one more time. Yeah.
The school, and they've said that it was nothing to do with them, that the NHS come into the school and they've done it. I've got a tag! And not even had my authority. I'm not signed nothing. I'm absolutely fucking livid. Please fucking check your children and make sure that they're not being fucking jabbed without your authority. Now, if my child gets fucking ill, what am I supposed to do? Fuck knows what she's had put in her. But school is fucking pissed me off. I'm so fucking angry and upset that now I'm worried that my fucking child's gonna get fucking ill. Please.
Right, so yeah, I see the comments and talking about getting the population down to 15% and all that stuff. Look, I'm not even going to go there because it can't be proven. And until you can prove it, until we've got facts to prove things like that, I'm not going down that road because it could discredit everything we are trying to do. What we are trying to do is go through this with an open mind. And I'm not discounting all these theories. What I'm saying is we cannot be talking about those kinds of theories with no facts on this station, otherwise we become a conspiracy theory station. We are looking for facts. And if we can find facts, then it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact. That's what we need to find if it's there, right? And we're not just trying to find something for the sake of it. This has been a concern that Kaylee's had quite rightly from the beginning. She's done her due diligence, and as it seems to happen, everything she feared is happening. Now, that's reason enough for me. That's all I need to see, right? So the fact of it is, we need to find the proof. We need to find the proof. If anybody can find this lady and get us in touch, I will owe you, I don't know, an interview, anything you want, anything you want. It's just really important that we get in touch somehow, because this is happening. This is everything that people have been worried about. This is everything that parents have been worried about. I don't know if you're aware of just how many mums and dads are really concerned about this. It's not just a few crazy whack job conspiracy theories. No, it's really not. And if that really happened, what that lady's saying there, then that's not conspiracy theory. That's just a fucking abuse of power. Why would they come in and test the kids? To me, that's like doing an experiment. It's not been arranged. It's not been. Why? Why rush into the school and do samples on the kid? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, the thing is about these tests is they only test you for whether you've got it right now. So next week it makes no difference. So why would you go into a school and randomly test kids, right, who have no symptoms? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. That's a massive waste of resources and whatever, unless there's something else going on. But you start going down that road with no proof, you sound like a maniac. So let's go find the proof. Please put us in touch. Please, somebody find her and put us in touch. I would be so grateful if you did. I'm sure Kaylee would as well. And then, as I said, Kaylee is in touch with someone else. We've also got other people, I think, that a professional that Kaylee knows, I think we need to bring into this. And we also will be putting together part 3 of these set of videos. Now, whether there'll be a part 4 or not, at this stage, I don't think even Kaylee could say. We don't know. We just know we're going to follow this through for as long as it's important, necessary, and it's going to help people. There's a lot of people out there that want to do this and either haven't got the confidence, the time, the ability even. Some people feel like they don't have the ability to do this. So there are a lot of mums that are sat there worried, but they don't know who to phone, how, don't really know how to have the conversations. They don't know how to approach it. It's not their fault. This is not normal times, and it's not normal phone calls, and it's very hard to navigate. So those people aren't stupid, which is exactly why we need to help those people. Even if the only thing we can show them is what we find is the truth, so they can make up their own mind. But what we're not going to get is the truth from, anybody at the moment that we're speaking to. There do seem to be a few people that are taking an interest in it, but it may be a month or so before they really get involved. So I'll make a shout out as well to For Britain. If anybody from For Britain is on and fancies digging, we really would appreciate it, because this is happening now. 2 mums now. And we could do with a force like yours to help. So I'm making a call out to For Britain. I'm asking For Britain, will you help us with this? Because I think there's enough. There's beginning, if not now, there's beginning to be enough to make a case that's big enough for somebody like that to get involved. Because they're going to have more sway, they're going to have more ability. So I'm making a call out to ask For Britain, will you help us? In the meantime, as I said, please try to find this lady for us. It would be really important. It's really important. So no, from what I understand from the post that was underneath the original video, Bolton, this is a COVID test. It's not a flu vaccination. It's a test. It's a COVID test. And all we need to do is verify that and everything else by speaking to her. That's why it's so important to speak to her, so that we can't have this kind of thing said, like, oh, it's probably this, it's probably that. But let's not say it's probably anything. Let's find out from the horse's mouth. Let's go and find out. rather than saying it could be, it's probably, it might be. No, let's find out what it is. Right, this is a channel of fact. And when we're going out on a hypothesis, we say so. When we're going out on a limb, we say so. But right now, we're fact hunting. And I know I'm waffling a bit and I'm repeating myself a bit. I'm just highly charged about this at the moment because I've got the bit between my teeth. You know, Kaylee was right. She's been fighting this. She's been fighting the horse shit that people give you when you try and fight this kind of crap. Yeah. But I'm glad to see online that maybe she's not getting respect from certain people that she deserves, but she's certainly getting it from you guys online. And I can't thank you on her behalf. That's up to her. I'm thanking you on my behalf for actually listening and giving it a fair shout. And at the end of this, if we're wrong, we will come on together and say we were wrong. We will come on together and say we were wrong, and this is how we were wrong, and this is what was going on, and this is the truth, right? We will dedicate a video to saying we were wrong. We dedicate an hour video saying that we were wrong, if we're wrong. But I've got a feeling we're not. So let's see what happens. But the main purpose of this video is not to prove anything. That didn't prove anything. The main purpose is to say, please, somebody find that lady and put us in touch. Because I don't know how to, but I bet someone does. Or someone might recognize it or something. Help us, please. Because all of these pieces are so important. Like, maybe she's full of shit. Well, let's find out. I don't think she is, but let's find out. Maybe she's confused, like Bolton said. Maybe it was it didn't say so underneath, but maybe it's a flu vaccinate. Let's find out. The only way we're going to find out is by speaking to her. Please help us find her, please, because this will all help us as well moving forward. It will help so many people. I don't think people as well understand. Like in part 2 of the videos that Kay done, it may not give you all the answers, but the fact that the questions have been asked has meant a lot to a lot of mums, probably dads too, but it's meant a lot to a lot of mums. So if we can actually realize that, then we realize this is not a waste of time. This is actually really important to a lot of people. So let's not just sit on this. Let's do something about it. And it needs to be done now. It needs to be done now. Michelle Harding, bless you. Thank you. I only just noticed that at the corner of my eye, so I nearly missed it. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Yeah, happy birthday to Babs as well. And yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. You're always so generous, and I really do appreciate it. So yeah, so that's that. And there's not really much more I can say about it other than, you know, she has and let's just have a look at this. Yeah, yeah. If you haven't seen these videos, please have a look at them. Again, they don't prove anything down to a fault. What they do is they ask questions that most people want asked. Most people who want to know about this want asked, and it asks those questions, and it sets us up for a part 3 where we will try to get the answers. Because although you may not realize it, part 2 is left on a cliffhanger because the MP's been contacted, certain other departments have been contacted. We're now waiting for the results of that, plus the other things we're doing in the meantime. So part 3 isn't just going to be part 2 extended. It's going to hopefully contain some bloody answers. Or if it contains a lack of answers, we will be naming and shaming the people that have failed. We will be naming and shaming the MPs that can't be bothered, or anybody that doesn't want to play the game will be named and shamed, because this is just basic information that should be available to every bloody parent. And it's days like this, I'm glad I didn't have kids, because I'd get arrested for this shit, I tell you. I don't know how you guys deal with it, and I have got so much respect for Kaylee and all you mums and dads are going through this and dealing with this in the manner that you are. And I've heard how the schools speak to you now, like you are students, like you are pupils, like you are there to be bossed around. How dare they? Doing a Greta, but how dare they? So I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted. But all I'm going to do is keep waffling on, aren't I? Because I am pretty angry about it. So rather than bore you with that, I'm going to say it one more time. Please help us find this person. It is so important. If you can do that, I owe you one, whatever that may be doing. Yeah, so this Kingfisher thing, Bolton, I'm glad you brought it up. Thank you. So the Kingfisher group, all we know about them is that it's an umbrella term for the testing that they're doing. And I think, yes, I think they are still about, but it's just an umbrella name for the tests that they do. We can't find out what the tests are in this Kingfisher group, Bolton. That's the problem. So they're there, and there may be a range of tests that come under that Kingfisher name. But again, information is not there. It's just not there. So, right, you've made the right call. Again, Bolton's obviously done his due diligence again, but it's just not there. So something needs to happen. So I'll just say happy birthday again, Babs. And I would ask you, please try and find this person. And any information anyone that has got that you think is relevant, useful, or anything else, please send to thisiszeronews@gmail.com. Thisiszeronews@gmail.com. It's actually probably at the bottom. Actually, yeah, it is at the bottom of the screen. Everything Bolton's saying here is all right, but the problem is the thing that's wrong is that everything he's saying is right on paper. In reality, and Bolton, I say this to you as a mate. Make the phone calls yourself. See if you get any further than we did. See if you get any further than anyone else has, mate. Because if you can, maybe you can find the answers to this, because you're pretty good at doing stuff like this. So you know what I mean. This is not an exclusive club we're trying to make here, where it's only me and Kaylee can do this because we want views and clicks. It's like, no, anybody who can help is really important in this. And the more, the merrier, as long as your purpose is true. And if, like I say, if it ends up that we're wrong, we'll come out and say so. Whatever happens, we will put in video and you'll see it. And then whichever way it goes, when we do find some answers, we'll also come on, we'll do a live. Kaylee will come on with me, do a live. And we'll also do some questions, answers, and things like this as well. Again, we're not claiming to have the answers. We're claiming at the moment only to have the questions. Oh, and that's just a warning to say my battery's running out. So I also want to say, just wish Bolton and family the best right now. And thank you, Bolton, I just seen your comment. Thank you. And yeah, and see what Kaylee's just said there, that we're open-minded. We're not here to assert anything. We're just trying to find the truth. Again, I know I repeat myself a lot of times, but this is the art of promotion, and this is also because I'm angry. And we need to find this person. I'm worried that if I don't really push this across, that nobody's going to try. Please try. Please. Anybody that's good at this kind of stuff. Actually, I do have a person I can ask who may be able to help as well. I'll come back to them at another point. But instead of boring you with that detail, I'm going to leave it there. Any other subject can just go on hold for the time being. I'm going to leave it there. So I know this may be boring, but I'm going to play that video to you one more time before I get out of here. Because I think, for me, I had to watch it a couple of times, really, because of the fact that it keeps pausing and all this other stuff. For me to kind of take it in and decide whether I believe this girl or not. And it's like, yeah, I do actually. Let's have a look again. And then
the school, and they've said that it was nothing to do with them, that the NHS come into the school and they've done it. I've got a tag! And not even had my authority. I'm not signed nothing. Nothing. I'm absolutely fucking livid. Please fucking check your children and make sure that they're not being fucking jabbed without your authority. Now, if my child gets fucking ill, what am I supposed to do? Fuck knows what she's had put in her. But school, it's fucking pissed me off. I'm so fucking angry and upset that now I'm worried that my fucking child's gonna get fucking ill. Please.
So if you knew how many people are like this right now, this might be what would alarm you. There's a lot of mums and dads in this position feeling exactly the same way, saying exactly the same thing. Whether it's happened to them or not, it's there. This is a real concern for parents. Please help, because I don't have all the resources in the world. My resources have always been you. So if you can help, I'd be really appreciative. And I know Kaylee would. And that's it. I don't want to bore you. So this is zeronews@gmail.com. Please get back to us, and we will just endeavor to find nothing more than the truth. My name is Tom Fury. This is Zero News, and I am calling it a day for now, ladies and gentlemen, and even pigs. Take care.